I'm James Chirillo, and I just wanted to mention a few of the guitar players that would be great for you to listen to, that you should be listening to. For playing acoustic rhythm, of course, there's Freddie Green with the Count Basie Band, and even go back to some of the early Kansas City 6 and 7 recordings. You hear him really good there. You'll also hear Eddie Durham play some of the first recorded electric guitar on those recordings, and Eddie Durham was something else too. So, Freddie Green, Freddie Guy with the Duke Ellington Orchestra. He can be very hard to hear. He's usually under-recorded, but it's always listening to anything by Duke. Just listen to that. The right thing to do will begin to imprint itself on your oral memory. So, I would also say for acoustic rhythm, Alan Roos with the Benny Goodman Band, who, as I found out not that long ago, Freddie Green studied with when he was in New York off the road. Every once in a while he'd hook up with Alan and take some lessons. Also, I would dig up some recordings. These guys did some great duets together. Cress and Dick Mcdonough. Those are two great acoustic guitar players. They were doing all sorts of studio work in the 30s. Dick Mcdonough died about 1937, so he wasn't around that long. But he's got a great solo rendition on acoustic guitar of Honeysuckle Rose you can find by Dick Mcdonough. Cress, he actually came from playing banjo, so he kept sort of a hybrid tuning on his guitar. It was still a 6-string guitar, but he had it tuned to like a big open B-flat 6 chord. So his low, instead of having a low E, he had a low B-flat below our normal low E string. So another guitar player, the point is, with Cress, with that funny tuning, he didn't really play a lot of single note lines, but his rhythm was ridiculous because he had these big spreads of chords. Somewhat like what you hear Bucky Pizzarelli playing today. George Van Eps is another one. He was the first guy to come up with that idea for the 7th string to put that low A on, and that's because he studied with Cress, and he liked the sound of that, having those low notes in that register on the guitar. So George Van Eps is another one. And early on, if you get recordings of him with different small groups from the 30s and the 40s, and I believe Van Eps is even playing in the movie The Fabulous Dorseys. There's a scene in a nightclub where their Dorsey brothers go down and sit in at a nightclub, and that's Van Eps playing guitar, and I think Tatum's in there on piano. That's worth it just for all the goofy dialogue through the rest of that movie. But so George Van Eps, Cress, Dick Mcdonough, Freddie Green, Alan Roos, Freddie Guy. That's a good start for acoustic guitar players. I would also check out, there's a website, freddiegreen.org, which is a great resource, and you'll find a lot of the same things that I was speaking about here on that website. I wrote a couple of articles on there you can find, and a lot of great information about Freddie, interviews, photos, even transcriptions of what he actually played. And then for electric guitar, we mentioned Barney Kessel and Herb Ellis. They both played with Oscar Peterson, and that's some great interplay between guitar and piano. And arguably the best interplay with guitar and piano was Nat King Cole with Oscar Moore. The early Nat King Cole trio recordings. And then later on, even when Oscar left and Nat King Cole got Irving Ashby. Oh man, great. Those are some great guitar, electric guitar, piano interplay records. I knew there was one other guy, For acoustic guitar, listen to Hal Casey with Fats Waller. And then Irving Ashby ended up playing with Fats too, I believe, for a little while. But Hal Casey with the early Fats Waller group got some nice acoustic rhythm guitar solos throughout all those recordings. That's definitely worth checking out. Okay, so for electric, we got Barney, we got Herb, Joe Pass. He's one of the first guys that got me going. Anything by Joe Pass. And I'm sort of focusing on the older guys. Jim Hall plays great rhythm. Anything by Jim Hall. He's got a little bit more modern in his approach. So playing rhythm and things like that with some of the older big band arrangements that you're being exposed to, I'd say listen to the first few guys that we were just talking about there, Barney and Herb and Kenny Burrell, some of these guys. Okay?